Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is officially a recap Wednesday, and today we are going to kick things off with, of course, y'all favorite show. Actually, you guys have been watching more of The Bachelor lately, but I'm going to kick things off with Teen Mom 2. So this week's episode was super duper duper juicy. This episode there was no fluff, there was no filler. It was just a good, well-rounded episode. Each girl kind of had their own, drama going on, and it made for excellent TV. Let's start off with Kailyn. So as you guys know, Kailyn and Javi are in the process of getting that divorce. Things are, of course, extremely messy with them, but they are also extremely awkward. So this week, Javi is like staying in a hotel room or whatever, and he needed to go back to the house to get some of his things. And we don't actually know how long, he's been deployed or whatever, how long he's been back. Because last week, Javi just came back. And, he's living in a hotel room, he's getting situated, and he was coming back for some of his things or whatever. So he was in this extremely awkward car ride with Kailyn going back to the house. And he started asking, what she was doing today. Kailyn, of course, was being extremely snobby and just snippy and just, oh, it's none of your business. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You shouldn't care about what I'm doing. Don't worry about it, blah, 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 blah. So she's being like all secretive, which kind of makes me believe like, okay, maybe she has a dude on the side. Is she already dating someone? Because Javi has kind of revealed to us that Kailyn has cheated on him, which is one of the main reasons why they are getting a divorce. But, we don't really know in reality because we only know what they share with us. So, she's being all secretive or whatever, and Javi's like, okay, whatever. So my thing is that Javi throughout this whole situation is being real calm. He's being polite. He's being respectful to Kailyn, and, he wants to do the right thing and raise Lincoln. And then he also wants to take the additional responsibility of raising Isaac. Not raising him, but just kind of, being continuing to be a father figure to him, as well as, Joel raising him. So, Javi's really stepping up, and he's really being a man. And honestly, I admire Javi because there's not a lot of guys that would do that. They would take on the responsibility of still, being a father figure in someone's life when they really don't have to. So he's really being mature and just kind of calm, cool, and collective. And Kailyn is just being snobby. She's expecting him to have his stuff together or whatever. Telling him, oh, he should already have his house. How come he doesn't have his house? I don't want him in my house. She's demanding for the keys and stuff back. And it's like, girl, would you get a grip? Like, this man just came back. Like I said before, we don't know the actual time frame in which he's been back. But, I mean, you gotta have, like, some type of grace period. Like, the second day he got back, she's already, talking about them car seats from last week. So, I can imagine this isn't that far between that time frame. Like, I'm pretty sure Javi hasn't even been back that long yet. And she's just like, where are your car key? I mean, where's, give me back the house keys? I don't want you coming into the house in the middle of the night. It's like, what? Like, first of all, I can understand you wanting your keys back or whatever, that's understandable, but that is your son's father. And if something were to go down, wouldn't you feel more comfortable with him having a key so that he could be there for his son if something were to happen than for him to not have a key? Like, what is the big deal about him having his damn key? I mean, honestly, what is the big deal of it? So, Kailyn's just being really snippy. And then the thing that really, tickled me was the fact that, like I said, Javi's stepping up and being there for Isaac. And it's like Kailyn is just still being snobby. Not only that, but Kailyn is not really thoroughly explaining to Isaac, like, I get that he's young, but he still doesn't understand the whole situation between why Javi is leaving. She hasn't sat down with him face to face and told him, at least that we've seen from the cameras, sat down with him face to face and said, hey, Javi's leaving. she's just basically saying that Javi's going to be getting a new house, and, you know, Lincoln's got a room there, but you don't. And, you know, he's like, but why? So Isaac is really confused in this situation. He doesn't know what's going on. And then the previews for next week's episode, he actually, you know, talks to Joe about it, because he's like, do you know what's going on with my mom? Because he doesn't know what the heck is going on between Javi and Kailyn. And Kailyn is just being crazy, you know, getting all this surgery and running around and doing her thing. It's like, girl, you are a mama. You need to sit down and explain things to your son and stop being so mean to Javi. And side note, Javi was looking kind of good these past 2 episodes. I mean, he done put on some muscle. And yeah, he's looking mighty fine. So Kailyn definitely missed out on that one. It was also a really, you know, sincere part from Javi at the end of the episode when they were all having lunch together with some friends, him and Lincoln and, you know, Javi and Isaac and some other friends, you know. And Isaac was basically, you know, talking about his room again. Well, Lincoln was talking about his room. One of the girls that they were, you know, out to eat with or whatever, one of Javi's friends had asked Lincoln what he was going to do with his room. And he was like, you know, he didn't really answer. And Isaac's like, I'm going to do something really special with my room. And then Javi just kind of looks at him and he's like, you know, well, your mom has to talk to you about that, but you'll always have a special room at my place. Always. And I was just like, oh, Javi. Like, he's just being so sweet, and Kailyn is just being so mean and so rude and so obnoxious. It's just like, no wonder they're freaking getting divorced, because Kailyn, she just on her own planet. Like, big thing within this episode is that Janelle and David are like talking about buying this land. So they're like all excited, they're getting this land or whatever. And, you know, first of all, let me talk about that real quick. Why is Janelle buying land with David? Let's just think about that real quick. Why is Janelle buying land with David? I mean, I get that she's about to have a kid with him or whatever, because she is pregnant. I'll get into that in a second. But Janelle cannot keep a man to save her life. Barbara even talks about this in this episode. This is Janelle's 4th baby with a different father, because we know that she miscarried with one of the other fathers or whatever. So this is Janelle's 4th pregnancy with a different man. So that means each kid that she's, you know, been pregnant with, each baby that she's been pregnant with, has come from a different man. And it's like, you mean to tell me you're going to sit up here and build land, you're going to build something, some type of land with, you know, a house and everything, and, you know, it's going to be your properties, it's going to be your space, it's going to be your thing with David, and you intend to be with him for the rest of your life? Like, really, Janelle, why are you buying this land? Just why? I mean, I could see, like, okay, no shade to anybody buying land. All right, let's just get this straight. Shade to Janelle, because she cannot hold down a man long enough to, you know, do something like that. I can see if you'd have been with this man for like 5 years, and it's like, okay, you know, we're pregnant, let's get things together, you know, let's buy this land, yada, yada, yada. But you haven't even been with him for like a year, and you trying to buy land with him and build something on it. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I just look at Janelle sometimes, I'm just like, girl, what are you thinking? Like, for real, where is your mind at when you are coming up with these different game plans and these different, you know, scenarios and things that you should do, these different visions that you have? Like, why would you go and buy land with this man and you don't even know you're going to be with him for that long? Like, come on now. Anyway, so that went down in the episode, and then there's like a scene where David is like, has his hand on Janelle's stomach, and he's like, oh, I'm so happy, and she's like, oh, I'm so happy too. Like, they're looking at each other all googly eyed or whatever, and we all know what's going on. We ain't stupid. And then, she's talking about yeah, we gotta hurry up and get this land, especially now with what's going on. And she's like winking at him and, giving him all these little signals or whatever, like it's some inside thing. But it's like, we all know what it is. Even if it hadn't dropped to the public yet that she was pregnant. I mean, come on now. It's obvious that your ass is pregnant. I mean, he's got his hand on your stomach. You're all glowing and just joyful and, oh yeah, especially right now, we gotta hurry up with this land and get it going. Like, come on now, we know. So all that goes down, and then they get back to, this other scene where the producer is like showing them that same clip of them in the car, and she's like, hey, is there something you want to tell us? And Giselle's just like, no, I don't have anything that I want to tell you. And then there was another thing that Janelle said that really was like, okay, Janelle, really? She said something about hoodies. I wrote it down because I was like, okay, I gotta say this. She said, I guess I gotta start wearing big hoodies from now on. And it's like, okay, so you just think we dumb and we not gonna know that you're pregnant, right? Like, you just think that you just pulled the wool over us and we just not gonna know. So anyway, the producer confronted her, showed her the clip, and she's like, oh, is there something you want to tell us, about you being pregnant or whatever? And she's just like, no, I don't have anything. We're just really excited about the land, we're just really happy. And they're like, okay, yeah, but, David has his stomach. He had his hand across your stomach. There's something you still don't want to tell us. And she's like, no, we're just really excited about the land. And then the other camera guy or producer is like, so are you happy it's going to be a boy land or a girl land? And everybody started laughing. And then it cuts to Barbara, and she's talking about the whole situation with Janelle being pregnant again. Apparently, and I did not know this until this episode, Janelle's pregnancy was, unveiled to everyone because she was in some type of car accident, and the police report was leaked. Because the police report said something along the lines of her being like 10 weeks pregnant or something like that and having abdominal pains. And Barbara found out the same way that everybody else did. So that means that basically Janelle did not even bother to tell her mom that she was pregnant. Like, she's so embarrassed by the fact that she's pregnant again that she feels like she has to hide it from everyone. She has to hide it from her mom. She has to hide it from, the world. And it's just kind of like, are you ashamed of your baby? Because if you're going to do something and be bold about it, go ahead and do it. Like, don't be ashamed of your life and, the things that you've done. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead and let people know. If you're going to do something, do it. Stop trying to act like you just ashamed or whatever. And, Barbara's just kind of talking to the producer. And she's just like, hey, what did she say? She was like, I don't know why Janelle is feeling, so ashamed. And she feels like she can't tell everyone. But I'm telling you, that's what it is. She's embarrassed because she's pregnant by, the fourth guy. And, I don't know. Janelle is just, y'all know how I feel about Janelle, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alright, so let's get into Chelsea's little segment. This week was really interesting for Chelsea because, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, her segments have been kind of boring. But this week is pretty good, and it's mainly due to Adam. So apparently Adam is behind in child support. He's behind like $3,500, and Chelsea's just trying to figure out, why he hasn't paid or whatever, why he isn't making payments. And come to find out, his other baby mama, his other kid, Paisley, it turns out, Adam's other baby mama, he hasn't been paying child support for her. And for her, he's behind like $3,500 to $5,000. So, Adam is just over here messing up. And the producers did go ahead and confront him and say, hey, Adam, what's going on with this child support? Are you making your child support payments? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm making them. Because if you don't make these child support payments, you get, put in jail or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So he's up there telling the bold-faced lie, and the producer's being all kind and nice, and she's like, well, you know what, we really want to show you, being filmed with your kids this season, so let us know the next time, Aubrey or Paisley is at the house so we can come by and, film you being a good dad and taking care of your kids. So here's Adam. He has this chance, he has this opportunity. And we should have known right then and there that was not going to work out, because he actually tells the producer, oh yeah, text me or call me or whatever and we'll work something out. Side eye. Already know that ain't going to go down. So it cuts to the next scene, and the producer's, at Adam's house. And, Aubrey's supposed to be coming over or whatever. So the producer rings the doorbell. She's like, hey, texting Adam, we're outside. Are you ready to film? And Adam's like, well, Aubrey's on his way. So basically, the producer's like, okay, cool. So I guess we'll just wait outside until she gets here, because Adam wasn't letting her in the crew or whatever inside the house. So she goes outside, waits in the car or whatever. Adam gets in his truck and pulls out of the driveway. Speeds off. Like, are you freaking kidding me? You have the one chance to show the world that you're actually a decent father despite everything that we hear. And you basically turn it down cold turkey. Like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, I just don't understand these people. Like, really? Are you that dense? Like, what the heck? You get one chance to, actually show that you're a good father, and you basically ruin it. And you expect us to feel sorry for you. I don't think so, bruh. Ain't going down. Alright, and then lastly we have Leah. Leah's drama this week was pretty intense. She's in the midst of moving into her new place. This is actually going to be her first house that she is owned herself. So big ups to Leah for, getting her own property and everything and do what she has to do as a mama for the girls. And, she's all excited about it, and she wants to kind of celebrate and take the girls to somewhere tropical. At first she was thinking Hawaii, and then she kind of changed her mind and wanted to do like a family resort trip to like Mexico or whatever. So, she has to get passports and stuff for the girls, and then along with that she has to get like written permission from, both baby daddies that they can go. So basically that means that she has to check in with Jeremy as well as Corey and let them know, like, hey, we're going on this trip. Is it okay if the girls go? So Leah texts Jeremy, to let him know. Now this kind of, threw me off, because I thought for sure Corey would have a problem with it and that Jeremy would be like, cool. Because most of the time Jeremy is cool about stuff. But it was actually flipped. Jeremy just went off. He lost it. He was like, no, Mexico isn't safe, all this, that, and the third. How are you going to protect the girls? I don't trust this. I was okay with Hawaii, but I'm not okay with Mexico. It's like, well, Hawaii is a longer flight, so that was one of the reasons why Leah wanted to take them to Mexico. But how is Hawaii any better than Mexico? I mean, they're both dangerous. You know what I mean? If you look at it like, she doesn't have like a guy or another adult going with them. If she does have another adult, that's one thing. But, we don't know all the details of this story. But anyway, Jeremy is just like furious about it. And he calls Corey to see what he thinks about the situation. And Corey doesn't even know yet. Like, Leah didn't even get a chance to tell Corey about what's going down, and Jeremy just goes on, oh yeah, I don't think she should be doing it, blah 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 blah, it's not safe, just like basically feeling all these negative vibes, putting all these negative vibes in the air, and just kind of like letting Corey know, what's about to go down or whatever, and he's just like furious about it. So Corey's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know nothing about it, man. I don't know. I don't know. He's kind of quiet on the phone. He doesn't really say much regarding it. And then I guess Jeremy goes ahead and he tells Leah, he's like, yeah, you didn't even bother to tell Corey what went down. So like basically he's just stirring things up, you know, whatever. And of course Leah starts freaking out. She's like, why did you tell Corey? You know, Corey and I didn't even get a chance to tell him yet. And They get into a huge fight or whatever about it. And then Leah, you know, kind of apologizes to Corey because of, you know, Jeremy spilling the beans before she even had a chance to. And then Corey's like, it's alright, you know, I understand, you know. Corey's just being really laid back and cool about things, it seems like, to me lately. Which is interesting because, like I said, it seems as if him and Jeremy have kind of switched places because Corey and Leah used to always get into it, and now Jeremy and Leah's always getting into it. It almost seems to me like Corey's just kind of like used to Leah and the way she is, and Jeremy's like still kind of, you know, adapting to her, you know, her crazy lifestyle, because Leah does do some kind of strange things sometimes. That's pretty much it for this week's episode of Teen Mom 2. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know I did, because this one was like super juicy. Hopefully next week's episode will be just as good because I love me a juicy Teen Mom episode because the recapping is always on point. Yeah, you. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Ciao!